Alrighty, welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I am your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Y'all know I got another banger for you. So kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me. Now, this was a topic that we touched on last night. If you were in the chat, you know what I'm saying? We touched on it last night. And it took off. So I thought we should dedicate a live to it, to be honest with y'all. Now, I know there are some games going on tonight as well, and we will keep y'all updated with all of that also. But I wanted to dive into this MVP conversation that's going on right now. It's been a hot topic. ESPN and the WNBA, the Kia MVP ladder, have released their rankings, and it's been talked about a lot around the league. There are 4 to 5 names that really stick out among the bunch. So I'm gonna leave it up to the chat, man. But there, for every MVP, they make a case. Now for ESPN, you know they had Asia Wilson at number 1. They had Napheesa Collier at 2, Sabrina Ionescu at 3, Stewie at 4, and Alyssa Thomas at 5. They had Caitlin Clark and Kalia Copper as honorable mention. So we'll make the case for each one, but I want to hear from the chat because this is a big topic right now. And this is your first time, welcome into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. I am your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. We back at it with another banger, my friends. And we're going to start this thing off with a poll. Lynn D, what's up, what's up? Welcome in. We're going to start y'all out with a poll. Hey, I got y'all. I'm cooking up a spicy poll right now. I got the stats, and we'll talk about every MVP's case. Give me one moment, y'all. Keep rocking with me. I appreciate y'all. Welcome in, welcome in. Of course, we got the Lynx versus Atlanta. The Wings are in action tonight. It's some games on the night. We will keep y'all updated on those as well. So we'll make the case for every player, but I'm leaving it up to y'all. Who is your MVP and where do you rank them? Let me know. And if it's other, y'all throw that in there too. Now we can make the case for all of them. Starting off with Asia Wilson. Now, I think most people that watch the W, most fans of the game, would admit for the most part that Asia Wilson is the number 1 player right now. As far as just from a production standpoint, she's been in a league of her own. She's averaging 27.3 points per game, 11.9 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 1.9 steals. She's also up for Defensive Player of the Year. Liddy, thank you so much for that score update. We appreciate you making the case for Asia, leading the league in scoring. She's doing a lot right now. 11.9 rebounds, averaging a double-double, has absolutely carried the Las Vegas Aces in several contests this season. When we're talking about Asia Wilson, she's been dominant the entire year. She's been the most consistent player in the league. She is banged up right now. That's the knock. She's injured right now. So what does that mean? How long could she be out? How long will Asia Wilson be out, and will this impact her MVP standings? I truthfully, guys, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I think she could sit out the rest of the year and still win the MVP. But there are some people in the chat last night that were saying they had Caitlin Clark ranked number one. That's Asia Wilson, two-time champ, multi-time MVP. Like, y'all know the vibes when it comes to Asia Wilson, the most dominant player in the league on both sides of the basketball, takes over games, has carried the Las Vegas Aces to several wins this year. Without Asia Wilson, the Aces are finished. I'm going to tell you that right now. Without Asia Wilson, they are a first round playoff exit. Second round exit at best. You got Chelsea Gray, who is just a shell of herself. Jackie Young has been good. Kelsey Plum has been good. Jackie Young has missed some time as well, though, guys. We got to look at that. RC, welcome in. Asia for MVP, the easiest. Is it unanimous? So Ernest has got Wilson at number one as well. Looking at the stats, looking at her team. Let me know. We're going to make a case for all these players. We're starting out with Asia Wilson. Y'all let me know your rankings, how y'all feeling about that. ESPN as well as the WNBA MVP ladder all have Asia Wilson at number one right now. He is listed at number one right now. And does it feel unanimous? Lindy's got Wilson, Collier, Caitlin, Stewie, Fee, and CC. Love y'all, but Asia got that. Even if Asia plays, she will not be 100%. CWE's got CC as MVP. That's the thing. Man, I tell y'all what, that Olympic break beat up on the Aces, man. Having all those Olympians on that squad not getting a rest, they are beat up right now. Like Jackie Young has missed time. Plum has been seen, you know what I'm saying, been banged up a little bit. Asia Wilson has taken a couple falls and now she's out. Yeah, ESPN had Sabrina at 3. I mean, it seems like Asia, it feels like a lot of people feel like that's unanimous. Now, going off of what ESPN had, they had Fee at number 2, and she's having an incredible season, leading the way for an upstart, new look Minnesota squad that wasn't expected to do a whole lot this year. They have honestly probably been the surprise of the league. Shout out to Fee, who's been a top 4, top 5 player in this league for years, and has sometimes gone overlooked and just unnoticed, bro. ESPN is capping with Sabrina in 3rd. It can't be unanimous. Voters have to vote for 5 different players. ESPN put Reese as number 1 rookie. They did at a time. They definitely had Angel as the number 1 rookie at a time. As an individual player, Asia is number 1. Dizzy Vet, welcome in. But I see the most valuable as one who's made the biggest impact. Individual stats, ability to uplift, and set up teammates, affect the team as a whole. RC's got Asia, Fee, Breanna, CC. No way Sabrina should be top 4. I mean, she's having a really good season, though. I gotta give it to her. Carlos, welcome in. They gonna always. So, in y'all's opinion, like, how much does record and team success factor into what's going on right now? Y'all let me know. And we'll get a quick score update, too, because I know it is some games going on. We'll get a quick scoreboard update as well. I'll keep y'all updated on the games. Caitlin would say Asia. She probably would. The New York Liberty are up on the Dallas Wings right now, 17-9. Speaking of Stewie and Sabrina, Stewie already got 8 points in this contest. The Dallas Wings got 9. I'm just saying. But Fee has been incredible. Like, one of the most skilled. She's a walking mismatch. She's leading a team that has championship aspirations with the Minnesota Lynx. They got some new faces. They have completely turned things around there. Shanks, what's up? What's up? Welcome in. Good day, mate. They've really transformed things around there. When you, like, with Fee, man, like, we saw the death of a dynasty. When Maya Moore retired, That was the death of the Minnesota Lynx dynasty that they had. They had to completely rebuild, start from scratch. And Napheesa Collier is a perfect piece to build around. That is a big piece to build around. And looking at Fee's stats, man, like she's really been incredible. 20.6 points, 9.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.9 blocks. One of the smoothest operators in the league, can score from anywhere, can play inside and out. With her size at 6'1", she's an elite finisher down low. She can shoot the three. She can handle it, has the perimeter skills to really play on the wing as well, be a big guard out there, man. Fee is the real deal, and she's a big part. Like, Minnesota has been a great story so far this year. Minnesota has been an excellent story so far this year. They have surprised a lot of people. I mean, honestly, man, nobody expected them to be a top 5, top 4 team in the WNBA. They're looking like they can compete for a championship. Straight ball and say Sabrina dropping them bricks right now. Yes, y'all let me know. Let me know. Let me catch up in the chat. What we got going on? Y'all got it spicy in here right now. CC Rookie of the Year. Records and standings factor in, but not most important. If record and team success matters, it's Collier. Vegas has a worse record than last year with 20 Olympic players. They do not look like they're getting that third championship, man. I'm going to tell you right now. The Aces are limping. They are limping into the playoffs right now. The whole point of the sport is the performance of the team. Element goal, welcome in, welcome in. Of course, team impact and win should be the highest part of the consideration. That's why Fee has been the clear top candidate all season. Ooh. I mean, they are playing good basketball. Like, do you value individual stats more, or do you value team success more? Do you want the player that's most valuable to their team, or do you want the player that is the best in the league? That's what you got to ask yourself, because the best player in the league isn't always the MVP. Let me take a quick look at the poll. So Caitlyn is at 39%, Asia Wilson at 57%, Fee at 4%. Okay, I'm gonna leave it up there for a little while longer. Sabrina over here dropping bricks. If you replace CC with Sabrina, New York would be better and Fever would be worse. How y'all feel about that? I don't know. I don't know, man. You also got to think of the chemistry factor. Sabrina was losing on Liberty until Stewart and Jones joined her. That's facts. Caitlyn made Fever good without Hall of Famers joining her team. I mean, they already had a team in place. They had complementary parts, but I will say Caitlyn is playing with less talent, man. The it's no secret the New York Liberty have an absolute mob. That is for certain. ESPN had Caitlin Clark at honorable mention, making the case for Caitlin. ESPN had her as honorable mention, man. You talk about the impact, you talk about the wins, transforming an organization. You talk about the overall impact of the bucket she's contributed to. I mean, at this point, Caitlin is definitely a better option than Chelsea Gray is. I just gotta be honest. If you a stacked team, that should factor in also. Plum and Sabrina nowhere near CC. Sheesh. Yo, CWE been standing on business. Alyssa Thomas so mad that CC about to take down her assist record tomorrow. Man, ESPN and the Kia MVP ladder on the official WNBA website have Alyssa Thomas at number 5 in the MVP race right now. They have her at number 5. 69 records. Caitlin will average 25 points per game next season. Asia was declared MVP on opening day. Man, I'm telling y'all, she took that 4th place finish, that 4th place vote she got last year. She took that, and definitely it's personal. It is personal. But it's like there's people that have average, like had some of the best stats in the league that don't even get an MVP nod because of the fact that their team is bad. Like the MVP never goes to a player on a bad team. Beaver didn't give Caitlin the green light to score first half of the season. They didn't give her the green light to do anything first half of the season. I'm right there with you. Sabrina would not make Fever better because her IQ not higher than CC's. ESPN hates CC. They got her on their channel all the time. If you go off individual stats, then it's not about the team. It's about me, a player who not only grows their own stats, but makes sure they use other key players for the main stat, which is wins. I would have Caitlin no lower than 4. You can make the case for her, though, as far as just the steady improvement. Her stats have continued to improve. She's gotten better every game. They've completely turned the Fever around. Like, when is the last time a team in the WNBA had the first overall pick and were bad the year before and then turned around and made the playoffs and were a top 6 seed? Like, the impact is tremendous. She completely changed the direction of this organization. They went from playing in empty barns to playing in sold out arenas. Looking at the stats, Caitlin averaged 19.2 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, 8.5 assists, and 1.3 steals so far. Improving every game, but you're looking at a player that is leading the league in assists, which as a point guard should be the most important stats. More important than her scoring should be the number of assists she's dishing out, man. So I think that's the big factor right there. Being a rookie point guard in the WNBA and leading the league in assists is no easy task. You have a franchise on your back right now. The supporting cast now. Let's not sleep on Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell. Like those are some all-star level talents right there. They got some good role players with Lexi Hole and Teamy, but this team's trajectory has completely changed. The entire league's trajectory has completely changed. And I know that won't factor into the MVP race, but when you talk about the views, the sponsorships, the endorsement dollars that Caitlin Clark is bringing into the W, man, it's undeniable the impact that she's had. And the scary part is about all this is year 1. This will be the worst she ever is. And if this is the worst season she has, it's scary hours. I know the turnovers have to be controlled. The turnovers definitely have to be controlled. We know that much. It's been brought up and it can't be overlooked. But I think there's a legitimate case for her. Yeah, I just don't think AT should be in the conversation this year. She got gypped, though. She should have won it last year, in my opinion. She got gypped. She got gypped. Thomas is definitely like, if you're gonna do an honorable mention, I would definitely have AT at 6 and Kalia Copper or Enrique at that 7th spot. I definitely would. Like AT is not having a bad season. She's just not having. She's having a good season. She's just not having a historical season like she did last year. But Caitlyn brings a lot of eyeballs to the game. And it's been a while. I mean, what, the last rookie to win MVP was Candace Parker when she won Rookie of the Year and MVP. People would sleep on Caitlyn. They thought it was a gimmick. They thought it was all gas, all hype from her coming at Iowa. She didn't play against anybody. She shot the ball 40 times. She was there for 5 years, apparently. I mean, we have not seen a rookie this scrutinized or this highly praised in quite some time. She's dealt with a lot of pressure under like a very, very tiny microscope, man. Like every move she makes is being watched. Every game she plays, I mean, it's sold out. We saw 1.5 million people choose to watch the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark go off above the NFL. Opening weekend of the NFL, mind you. I'm just saying, man, the impact is insane right now. And I mean, it's great for the game, it's great for the growth. But I think Caitlyn, she's breaking a lot of records. She's earned the respect that she's given. She's earned the right to be in the MVP conversation based off performance and what she's accomplished in a very, very, in my opinion, a short sample size compared to what the rest of her season, what the rest of her career will look like. But she's got the Fever playoff contender. You talk about team success, they have that. You talk about individual success, she has that as well. And you talk about like the most valuable player. I don't know if there's a player in the entire league that is more valuable to their team than Caitlin Clark is to the Indiana Fever. If you're talking about most valuable player for their team, Caitlin's in that conversation. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all, we are one subscriber away from 3,800. Oh man, oh man. One subscriber away from 3,800. Y'all go hit that subscribe button. We rocking. Woo! Chat is booming. Man, see, this was a conversation I knew we had to have. This was a conversation I knew we had to have. And let me get y'all a quick score update as well. I told y'all I'll keep y'all posted on the game. So the Liberty are up 28-18 over the Dallas Wings right now. Breanna Stewart has 15 points in 10 minutes. Lainey Hamilton has 3 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. She's back coming off an injury. Jonquel Jones has 3 points. Sabrina has 5 points, as well as 2 assists and 2 rebounds to go with that as well. Speaking of two MVP candidates, and I'm gonna just say this, man, the Wings are definitely trying to pack it up. Rike don't even have a point in the second quarter. She done played 10 minutes and don't got a bucket. Yeah, they packing it in. Natasha Howard got 7 points though, but yeah, they packing it in. But yeah, just based off those facts alone, man. Let me see. Let me catch up in the chat. Let me catch up in the chat. Be listening to your boy. I'm gonna have my third championship this year, no matter what. How either my ace is gonna get it done again, or my fever shock the world. I mean, they have a legitimate shot of winning a championship. Caitlyn definitely has them in that position to where, I mean, they're firing on all cylinders. The confidence is at an all-time high. They've been the hottest team in the league probably since the break ended. I mean, Kelsey Mitchell's playing the best basketball of her career, in my opinion. Aaliyah Boston is playing at an elite level right now. Lexi Hull has found her confidence. Like, Caitlyn is the key to the ignition for this team. She really gets things going. I definitely see the scoring uptick. And I mean, if you think about it too, man, if they would draw up more plays for her, and as the mid range becomes more confident, more comfortable for her, the point total is gonna go up. It definitely is. But man, they need to start running some of them double screens that Iowa was running. They don't run really anything for Caitlyn off ball. You go off individual stats that it's not about the team, it's about me, a player, not only grows the read that one. Got you, Dizzy Vet. MVP ain't something you just hand out. So y'all want Caitlyn to have the rookie of the year and the MVP? I mean, really? I'm a huge fan, CC fan, but I can't co-sign this one. RC standing on business. If Asia Wilson wins MVP, nobody's gonna care about it. I don't think that's necessarily true, man. It'll be what, her third one. She's one of the faces of this league. Very popular, very marketable. I think a lot of people would care. But I tell you what, though, the Aces care more about that championship than that MVP. Links 41, Dream 38. Thank you for the update. Keep them coming. Jokic won MVP as a 6 seed. And see, like, they're not giving it to any like teams that's not making the playoffs. Wilson won in first place votes, but still lost the race. The race is closer than people think. Collier could lost first place. Yeah, I mean the thing that cost Asia last year was that fourth place vote, and that's why she been coming out on a mission. Kelsey Hole, Boston would not have the success without CC if you had Sabrina. Caitlyn scores 20 plus points every game now. Ernest says 4 or 5 sounds right for Clark. About 4 or 5. Remember, Boston is only in her second year. Yeah, I mean, she was the number one pick last year. She's a young player herself that is taking on a lot of responsibility and having to be one of the voices in that locker room. Definitely cannot sleep on what Aaliyah Boston brings to this team. She showed out last game. She showed out. CC is the MVP for the WNBA. Who else has been this season most important player for the entire women's game? I mean, the impact Caitlyn is making on and off the court, you got to talk about it. You got to talk about it. That's for sure. CC has destroyed the WNBA since they returned from Olympic break. CC's numbers are similar to Candace Parker in her rookie season. Y'all let me know where y'all rank. What's the poll looking like right now? Yo, it is dead even. Yo, Caitlin Clark has 50% of the votes right now compared to Asia Wilson's 47. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We'll leave the poll up for a little bit longer. Y'all hit that poll. Hit that subscribe button until we one subscriber away from 3,800. I appreciate y'all. 3,800 is crazy. We rocking. Thank y'all so much for locking in with me. If you're just joining, welcome into the Live with Brandon Blakely podcast. Of course, we are talking about the MVP race, ranking the MVP candidates, and making the case for all of them. As y'all see in the poll, a lot of people in this chat in particular feel like Caitlin Clark has been the MVP or will be the MVP, and we've made the case for her. We've talked about Fee. We've talked about Asia. Another player getting a lot of love in that MVP conversation is Sabrina Ionescu as well. Clark's stats are better than Parker when she won Rookie of the Year and MVP. Not saying Clark should be the MVP, but she has better stats than Swoop's MVP year also. She does. We saw the side by side. One of Swoop's best years was Caitlyn's first year. And to be honest with y'all, I mean, this will be the worst Caitlyn will ever be. But Sabrina's getting a lot of love too. I know ESPN and the Kia MVP rookie ladder have this team at Sabrina at number 3, right behind Fee and right behind Caitlin Clark. W is probably making about 20 to 40% more money and much less long-term popularity with how poorly they have treated her. That Olympic blunder was epic. Will stand out in the history books. I think, honestly, though, man, her being left off the Olympic team was the best thing that could have happened to her. It was the best thing that could have happened to her. Honestly. Like she got that break and she's been on a tear. It really like I want to say kind of saved her rookie year, man. But we'll make the case for Sabrina as well. I want to say about Sabrina though, man, because Stewie's been up and down. She's missed some games. She's been injured. Sabrina has really been holding it down for the Liberty this year. I just want to say that. Right now, averaging 19.3 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists with one steal per game. It like looking at it, man, because she's only averaging point 0.1 points more than Caitlin. She's averaging less rebounds and less assists. So I mean, to put her over Caitlyn is tough, to be honest. But if you're considering the stats mixed with her being on the best team in the entire league, then there's a case for that. There's a case for her being above Caitlyn if that's the case. If you're comparing stats but also team success, but I want to say, man, Sabrina is one of the key cogs to a super team right now. She's playing with a lot more talent than Caitlyn. But they are. I mean, she's arguably, I mean, she's been their best player this season, to be honest with y'all, man. Like, most steady, hasn't missed games, like, has held it down, has improved on the assist, has been their lead playmaker, even with Vandersloot on the court. She's continued to shoot the ball at a high level from three. She's elite in the pick and roll. She's not a liability on defense. Sabrina's having a year. She deserves to definitely be in this conversation. And then you look at the success in the past of the New York Liberty, where it seems like right now they're a team of destiny. This is their year. It genuinely feels like it's been the New York Liberty and everybody else in the entire league, like trying to play catch up with this group. Welcome in, everybody. If this is your first time within the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast, make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, share, like, all that good stuff to stay up with all the latest. Hey, and we just hit 3,800 subscribers. Let's go. Thank y'all so much for getting me there. Next up, we're looking at 4,000. Thank y'all so much for the support. None of this is possible without you great people. Thank you. Thank you. Yup, Asia is out with the injury, and the Aces are flat out done without Asia Wilson. Until she comes back, this team is an afterthought. I'm sorry to say it. Casey, welcome in. Caitlin is the key to the ignition to any team she's on. Asia is an awesome player. However, in a lot of ways, she can be a selfish player, but cannot deny her skills. And I mean, it is different for a point guard. You're controlling the entire game. You have the ball in your hands. You're not really relying on somebody to get you the ball like a forward like Asia Wilson is. Ernest, welcome in, welcome in. Man, Alyssa Smith, I don't know. She be selling. She sold last game. That's the thing. There are no direct guidelines for MVP. Are you looking at the most valuable player to their team? Are you looking at the best player on the best team? Are you looking at the best player? Like what? It depends on the criteria you're examining right now. Then, of course, we got Stewie, the other half of that dynamic duo for New York, man, that has been dominating. She had a really big Olympics, was really the MVP of that team for the season. She's averaging 20.3 points, 8.7 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 1.8 steals on the season. And when you talk about versatility and skill, I mean, guys, at that size, the way that she can move with the basketball is insane, bro. Like, she's 6'4" in women's hoops, bringing the ball up the court, taking her man off the dribble, pulling up for three, the stop. There's nothing Stewie can't do, man. She is a true unicorn in the game. Definitely one of the most impactful. Already, has won MVP before. So We know she's got the pedigree, and I mean, you could make the case that she is the best player on the best team in the league. And if you value that, then maybe Stewie's moving up that list for MVP. She has missed games though, so should that be counted against her? You know what I'm saying? Should that really be counted against her? Is that a knock? Is that a chink in her armor? She's been incredible though, and she has been since she got into the league. I know one thing: if CC ever team up with Asia, it's over. Oh yeah, dynamic duo, scary for the league. Crunk Girl, welcome in. MVP is the full season, not just after the Olympics. Impact versus actual stats is not even. Have any of you noticed how some of the teams are starting to try and pass like Caitlyn? I have not noticed. Scoops had a much closer 3-point line. Asia has been she's been dominating all year. We cannot take that away from Asia Wilson. We cannot take that from Asia Wilson. She has been the most dominant player on both sides. We're talking about a player that could be taking home MVP as well as Defensive Player of the Year. But shout out Dejanay Carrington. I think she deserves it. But I'm just saying, Asia could walk away with both of them. CC's a better shooter. CC been doing that floater and deadly. Yo, that sidestep and step back three is absolutely dead. Yeah, I agree. Clark and Cardoso needed the break. I definitely agree with that. What person has set more records this season? What rookie has set the most records this season? What player has had the most impact on the league this season? Valid questions, James. Let me see where the poll is right now. Caitlin Clark is winning the MVP race right now at 52%. Asia Wilson at 49%. Ooh, Caitlin Clark taking it right now out of 46 votes. Caitlin's taking over half of them. Yeah, I think Asia is she's been the most impactful player in the league in my opinion. She's been playing at an elite level. It feels like it's been her and everybody else. She's been the most consistent. She's dragged the Aces across the finish line several times this year. I mean, without Asia Wilson, the Aces are bottom of the barrel this season compared to how they've been playing. They'd be down there with the dang Dallas Wings. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Yeah, you have to feed Asia. Definitely. When you feed Asia, good things happen. Ty, yes. Dallas is already eliminated. They already eliminated. It don't matter if they win or lose. They are already eliminated. MVP is a fun discussion. The way I see it, any argument to put Asia ahead of CC then puts Fee above Asia. Asia's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Interesting take. Interesting take. I mean, when you look at Fee, man, like you talk about impact, is Asia Wilson more impactful? Would they miss her more? Do y'all trust? It really comes down to do y'all trust Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray to be a better team, pretty much than what Minnesota would be without Fee? Like with Courtney Williams, with Bridget Carlton, like who's supporting cast is better? It would come down to that. But the Aces are two-time defending champions. We didn't expect them to be bad like this where they are right now. Kind of like close to the middle of the pack almost. We didn't see that. But with Minnesota, we saw them getting a very high draft pick this year. Nobody had them as a top four team in the league. Like what Fee is doing is reviving a dynasty that was killed the moment Maya Moore retired. Ernest says Wilson and Asia. Oh, Wilson, definitely the defensive player of the year, without a doubt. Okay. I still can't believe Asia took 20 shots in the first half when they played Chicago's God. Man, she has the ultimate green light. The league itself is trying to break down the fever by not giving Kelsey Mitchell Player of the Month. She has led the league in scoring, man, since the season rejoined. Since it resumed, she has been leading in scoring. Yeah, MVP is definitely a fun discussion, man. Because there's so many great players. There are a lot of people that are deserving, I will say, but there can only be one. There can only be one. There can only be one, y'all. Y'all let me know. I mean, it depends. Like, what do you value the most? With Fee, I mean, it's a great story in the WNBA right now. Like, she's carrying a squad where a lot of people felt like they were not going to be good this year. A lot of people felt like they didn't have the firepower to keep up with some of the big hitters, the heavy hitters in this league. Do you value the best player on the best team? Do you value more so the best player in the league statistically wise, or the most impactful, the most valuable player to their team's success? What holds more weight? That really is what. Because Lindy made a good point, man. There's no like direct guidelines. There's no outline for MVP. You know, you don't exactly know all the criteria. We know some of it based off of past winners, but like we don't have an exact criteria to this thing. We don't have a playbook for this thing. Yeah, Russell. So they combined for the lottery like the last two seasons of the team. So that's why like the Dallas Wings are looking for that first round pick potentially, but the Sparks have been bad the last 2 years, so they're up for it. The Mystics have been bad. I mean, you know, when you lose in Atlanta Deladon, that's tough. So they add the 2 seasons for the lottery. Then you have Golden State, who will get a top pick as well, being an expansion team, which we haven't seen in the WNBA in a little while. So it goes a bunch of different ways, and then you have the Chicago Sky, who could possibly have a high draft pick, but they got to swap with the Wings. So that's just a little quick breakdown for you, Russell. But I'll do a mock draft as well and kind of go deeper into it. We'll do a mock draft once the season concludes. I got y'all. Yeah, yeah. Ty's gonna come down to Atlanta and Chicago. Well, the Mystics haven't been eliminated yet either. But yeah, Russell, appreciate you joining in, my man. Thank you. I believe that CC is more valuable. Oxford, welcome in, welcome in. Coxford neighbor, welcome in. I believe that CC is more valuable in the league. She's brought more eyes. I mean, I didn't know about Wilson if I never heard about CC. Yeah, I mean, there have been a lot of like a lot of players that have been playing at an elite level that have went up against Caitlin Clark and become household names because of it. Hey, we got a game on our hands, Shanks. 50-50. Thank you for that update. The Dream are fighting for their playoff lives right now. Things kind of getting heated up in the league after the commissioner interview on CSNBC. I'm about to go check that out. Hold on, I missed that. Oh, I'm reading up on that now. That's crazy. don't think the WNBA has like a conspiracy against the Fever, but I will say, man, it's bad business that Kelsey Mitchell definitely didn't, get a nod. That's crazy. That is crazy, y'all. So I'm just reading right now, what somebody mentioned. So we know, this interview happened back on September 9th. Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner of the WNBA, appeared on CNBC's Power Launch program. And people are saying that she sidestepped a question about racist undertones that the fan rivalry between rookies Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese can sometimes take on social media. He said, quote, now it seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn, a more menacing turn. This was the CNBC anchor Tyler Matheson saying this to Engelbert about the fans on both sides when race has been introduced in the conversation or sexuality is sometimes introduced in the conversation. Quote, how do you try and stay ahead of that or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved? Not personally, it would seem, but their fan bases are involved and saying some very uncharitable things about the other. Hey, I mean, we know though, we know that like the war between fan bases has been loud. It gets ugly. This is definitely not news, man. This is definitely not news. Let me cook up another poll. Like we know what's going on. I'm gonna leave it up for a poll. Do y'all feel like this rivalry is bad for the league? Nothing that I just read right there is news to anybody else, right? Like nothing I just read is news at all. We know that these are two of the most passionate fan bases in the league, but they brought a lot of eyes on one end. Like this rivalry got sparked when LSU and Iowa played for a national title. There was undertones then, and it has taken off like wildfire. But the benefit is these ladies have put the league on their backs. The WNBA is at an all-time high in views. These are the two top selling jersey and merchandise sellers in the entire league right now. When you talk about Caitlin as well as Angel Reese, it seems like there are not a lot of people that are like kind of undecided or fans of both of them that come into the chats or that I've seen. I think they're both great for the game. I think they're both great players. I think you can show love to one without tearing down the other one for sure. But there has been a lot of like very we'll say uncharitable things said about both sides, man. But a little bit more about what Engelbert said, Kathy, Commissioner Kathy. So she said this was her quote. Well, the one thing that's great about the league right now, we do sit at this intersection of culture and sports and fashion and music. Like the WNBA players are really looked at now as kind of cultural icons, which I agree, and that's dope. Like everybody wants to see what player has the best fit. They're getting shoe deals, endorsement deals, brand deals, starting clothing lines. So I think that's dope that they're getting to this level where they are becoming cultural icons in a sense. And then she said, and when you have that, you have a lot of attention on you. There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. It is a little bit of that bird magic moment. There, a lot of y'all have said that, and we've seen that a lot. People have mentioned the bird magic rhetoric, right? A lot of people have mentioned that when you're talking about Caitlyn, when you're talking about Angel. A lot of people have mentioned that bird and magic comparison. They have mentioned that. But I mean, yeah, Ernest, their looks get mentioned all the time. Like people talk about Angel's looks and sexuality as well as Caitlin Clark clocking her. Like we see it all the time. And to be honest, man, it's just it is it. I don't want it to take away from their talent and getting in the way of the game. Getting in the way of the game. We know there's some attractive women out there in the WNBA. We know there's some gorgeous women out there. We know that. This is no secret. But it shouldn't over prioritize the game. Looking at it though, just more of Kathy's comments. And then when you have that, you have oh wait, let me go down. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. Engelbert said, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. Engelbert then said. And I mean that's the thing though. I'm not gonna lie. That's the problem that I have with the WNBA right now. They too damn friendly. They too friendly. And they're saying that like there's some backlash for some WNBA players as well. Let me see. I mean, I honestly don't see anything wrong with the comment. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. I mean, she telling the truth. Like, you need rivalry. You absolutely need a rivalry to carry the game. And the way that they've raised viewership, the way that people are tuning into games, the way that new fans are being attracted, the way that they got charter flights and expansion happening and more nationally televised games than they've ever had, the most watched All-Star game ever in their league history, the most watched draft. Like I don't genuinely I understand that this rivalry, no lie now, has brought out some of the worst in some people. I will say that. It has gotten nasty. There have been racist undertones. There have been like mad sexual comments made. I do see that. I see that personally here. Like just during streams sometimes. But at the same time, you can be a fan of one of these ladies and not tear down the other one. But I think it seems like 69% have voted no, it's not bad for the league. So a majority of people definitely feel like this has been good for the league. I think, honestly, man, these two fan bases are two of the most passionate fan bases we've seen. Like the Caitlin Clark cult, the Reese Barbies, the mob. Like, people are not taking any junk being said about these players, man. But people have said Angel's faking her injury. And I mean, she's overachieved this season. She deserves her flowers as well. You know, people felt like she wasn't even going to make this team. Not only did she do that, but she made the All Star team. She's a starter on this team, helped beat the Olympic team, led the league in rebounding, broke the record for most rebounds in a season. Like, this is a legitimate rivalry. People were sleep on Caitlyn, saying that, the college was a fluke. She wasn't going to be quick enough, athletic enough to create separation to get her shot off. It was a rocky start, but she has really shut down the haters as well on her end. Like, both of these ladies are carrying the torch for this league to new heights. They've kicked the door open for other players that have already been elite to be recognized as household names now. The rivalry has brought out the ugly in some people. I mean, could Kathy have said more discerning about I mean, she can't control what people are talking about on YouTube. But there are some channels out there that are pretty wicked, man, that really just dehumanize some of these players. And it's nasty work. And y'all will never see me. Y'all will never see me talking like that. That's what I'm saying. But it seems like people are legit upset. Let me yeah, it just didn't seem like there was a lot there. I'm gonna play the clip in a later video, but it just like I don't see how that was like a controversial, you know what I'm saying, statement though. Like, could she have said more regarding the racist undertones, regarding some of the nasty things that are said by people on the internet or on these channels or by sports analysis? Yeah, of course. She could have said more, but let me read so the statement from the WNBA PA executive director. Here is the answer that the commissioner should have provided to the very clear question regarding the racism, misogyny, and harassment experienced by players. There's absolutely no place in sport or in life for the vile hate, racist language, homophobic comments, and misogynistic attacks our players are facing on social media. Absolutely agree. 110% agree. Man, it gets wicked on social media. Players getting death threats, getting called all types of names. Like, yeah, I mean, there's no place in the game. They deal with stuff that their male counterparts don't have to. This is not about rivalries where iconic personalities fueling a business model. This kind of toxic fandom should never be tolerated or left unchecked. It demands immediate action and frankly should have been addressed long ago. As director of the WNBA WNBPA, now in my ninth season, I can say that we wholeheartedly welcome the rising interest in the WNBA over the past few years, particularly the surge in fandom sparked by this electrifying rookie class led by Angel and Caitlin. To the loyal fans who have been with the W for decades, thank you for your unwavering support. You know the history, the game, and the players. You know us best. And to our new fans, welcome. Your energy and passion are recognized and appreciated. Together with all our fans, we will continue to grow a sustaining and thriving future. Wow. Wow. Well, that was a lot. That was a lot. Wow. Y'all, that was a lot. That was a lot. Let me put a poll up. That was a lot. Wow. That was a lot. That was a lot. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That was a lot. That was a lot to take in. Players are obviously pissed. Players are obviously pissed right now. I want to say this after listening to everything, hearing both sides. I mean, that was a lot. Players are pissed. She's no Adam Silver. She's no Adam Silver. But yeah, players are obviously pissed. They do not support this rhetoric that she's pushing with the rivalry. I do not think the rivalry is bad for the league. And I do not think there's a way that you can genuinely control what people say on the internet. I mean, they're just gonna have tougher skin. Is it worthy? Like, should it be happening? Are the things that they're experiencing normal? No. Should the things that they are going through right now, should they be dealing with a lot of this nonsense, being harassed, being sexualized, talked about in demeaning manners, some of them getting death threats if they foul Caitlyn too hard? Like, no, they shouldn't be going through this. But I agree, Duke, she hasn't stood firm on anything, even to the point where people have, like, pushed her into expansion. I mean, she's just there. She's just there. But you cannot control people. I don't like she definitely could have said more. And I agree with that. Like she could have said more. She could have stood on business and really made a powerful statement with so many black women in that league and stood on business. She didn't. She did not choose to do that. On a major stage too. On a major stage. But people are upset at I mean, bro, she's getting killed on Twitter right now. One guy says Kathy Engelbert should be ashamed of that answer she gave, but that would require her to acknowledge she made a mistake. But that answer was deliberate to me and sent quite a clear message to the players and what they go through. Should she have had their back more? Should she have stood on business more? I mean, she can't control what people say. I agree, she is a weak commissioner. But what is she really gonna do? I feel like the league kind of didn't even respect her before this, and this just helped solidify her status as one of the most disliked commissioners probably in all of professional sports. Now, I didn't see the interview. I did not see the whole interview. We're going off of one clip and then some statements that I just read. Things can be turned and twisted to make a narrative. And we've seen it, but the WNBA, man, like they have been bashed for having a bad product and wanting equal salaries and wanting more viewers and more luxuries and better travel. And they've gotten all these things. There are a lot of fans that are coming to the W now. And I mean, now it's like, oh, we're getting all this attention, but now it's this. Like, yeah, they're battling a lot of problems that a lot of women battle in around the world in general. You know, this isn't just a WNBA thing. But to pin it all on Kathy, man, like I know she's the one of the faces, she's the voice, she's the commissioner. She's supposed to stand on business. She's supposed to lay the law down. She's supposed to lead by example. She is supposed to have her players' backs. She is supposed to be that voice. She is not. She has proven that she is not. I'm not sure what people were expecting from her. I know what people expect from a commissioner. I don't know what people were expecting from Kathy, though. She definitely just flew over most of those comments, though, and focused solely on the rivalry and the business model for this league and where it's headed. Saheed, welcome, man. Y'all make sure to have them notifications on. Shanks, thanks for the update. Okay, Sunshine says you can control these channels by suing. Angels needed to get her lawyer send paper to these channels that use her image all the time. I think the fact that they were saying that she was faking her injury was despicable, man. I don't like that. I don't like that. But I mean, Kathy, they've been pushing her for expansion. Like she's flaky, bro. She has not stood on business. She has not stood on business. Is Kathy being held to a different expectation because she is a woman and she's a commissioner of a major league? Like, that's the thing. You have all these new fans now that are coming in. This is really what you guys asked for. You wanted more viewership. You wanted to be taken seriously as athletes, as a league. You wanted to grow your product. I mean, that's what's happening. There are a lot of trolls, but I mean that's what's happening. Ernest, like you can't by stand on business. Like, are you gonna have your players' backs? Are you gonna have the league's best interest? Is that the same thing for them? They are getting a lot of new fans. You can't just alienate them. But yeah, I mean, it's Twitter. There's trolls. There's clowns everywhere. There's gonna be trolls everywhere. There's trolls in every league. I mean, there's always people talking crazy. Players in the NFL get death threats for missing fantasy games. You know what I'm saying? This is something athletes go through. Male athletes are sexualized as well. Now, it can get real spooky out here, man, with some of the comments, even what I've seen. But the attacks on the character, I mean, it's unwarranted. So he says, make me the commissioner. Kathy hasn't standing on business about anything, though. She hasn't stood on business about anything. So, I mean, even to the point of expansion and getting players paid more. So why would it stop now? Why would it stop now? Trolls live off the chaos they create. No one person can stop the trolls. Yeah, the internet is undefeated, bro. The internet is undefeated. Ignoring them made many move on. Trolls are like sharks. When they see they are getting to the players, then it's open season. Yeah, they smell blood in the water. They smell blood in the water, and a lot of WNBA players we've seen, several of them have really went at it with trolls on social media. They definitely have. One fan said respectfully, Kathy Engelbert is no longer the right person to represent the league as commissioner. She's out of her league and she lacks depth to provide clarity on the realistic threat misogyny, racism, and homophobia have in the WNBA. Another person says, why is this woman leading professional sports league, making statements like these? We need answers, hold these people accountable, and make their actions have consequences. This is disgusting, and the WNBA should be ashamed to call Kathy Engelberg the commissioner. A lot of strong feelings, but they are dragging her on social media. I'm just saying. Saheed for commissioner. Let's go. They are saying that she controlled racism and bigotry to rivalries. I don't think she compared them at all. She just flew over one and talked about one. I mean, you can use somebody's name, likeness, and image if you're reporting on it. We do it all the time. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. Should Kathy Engelbert have said more? The people have spoken 60-40. 60-40 in the chat. I mean, big responsibilities come with big titles, and maybe she is not the long term answer to lead this league. It seems like a lot of people feel that way. Fever to the finals. Let's go. Man, I don't know. Is Kathy going to survive this one, y'all? I don't know. Is she going to survive this one? That was tough. That was really tough to watch. That was tough to read. Man, they calling her soft. They calling her unqualified. Duke says Kathy Engelberg has been a paper commissioner. Facts. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. Mad generic. Mad generic, man. Oh, man. Yeah, I agree. I agree. They definitely deserve a cut of that merchandise sales, and they need to be getting some of that TV money as well. But merchandise is jumping off the shelves right now at all time highs like we've never seen before. We can't not acknowledge the impact that Caitlyn and Angel are having, but it is a lot that these ladies are dealing with that other athletes don't have to. They have gotten an influx in fans that are very passionate, to say the least. Yeah, I mean, if you're blatantly lying on people, you definitely can get sued for, you know what I'm saying? People can go after you for libel or slander if they're just blatantly lying, but not reporting on something. I mean, the league is growing. That cannot be denied. The league is for sure growing right now at an exponential rate. Guys. Hey, man, it has been another great live with y'all. We had some polls, we had some discussions, great topics that we talked about today. Much love to everybody that tuned in. If this is your first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. And definitely stay locked in with the notifications to see as well whenever we go live. We will be back live tomorrow. I'm doing a birthday live tomorrow for y'all. My birthday is tomorrow and I'm locking in with y'all, man. I'm spending it with y'all, so I'm excited to do that. Y'all make sure to comment. Let me know some more topics that y'all want to get into. Let me know what up, Sleepy Mocha. Let me know more topics, more discussions y'all want to have. Holler at me in the comments. This is y'all's time. Shanks, I was a local TV reporter for a while, did sports, covered elections. I'm done with that part of my life. I'm done with that part. Element, appreciate you. You too, man. You too. Absolutely, absolutely. Y'all know I keep it unbiased, man. We not always gonna agree to with each other, but we can always respect each other. Hey, man, I'm tearing it up this weekend. Appreciate you, Lindy. Thank you so much for that. We going hard this weekend, but I'm spending my actual birthday with you, great people. Tomorrow we gonna have a special live plan. Y'all let me know any topics y'all want me to cover. All right, definitely do some playoff predictions tomorrow. And of course, we'll have the post game reaction. We got some big games tomorrow as well. The Indiana Fever have the Aces tomorrow, and the Chicago Sky play tomorrow too, I believe. So some big games. So of course we will talk a bevy of topics, and I'll have that pregame for y'all as well. Thank y'all so much for the birthday love, man. I appreciate it. We'll talk playoff seeding, dark horses. I got y'all. I got y'all. And if y'all think of any more topics, man, feel free to comment once this video uploads, and I'll be putting up another video tonight as well. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. That is a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. Until next time, my people, we out.